Today I want to start with a question. Do you feel Lemurian? In our journeys as human, we often look for labels to identify ourselves either individually or as a group because many of us, maybe most of us, feel a desire to fit in, to connect with other people and groups. And it's perfectly normal and natural. I've spent so much of my life trying to fit in or be accepted by various groups. I moved around a lot as a kid, had so many jobs as an adult. So I know what it's like to look for ways of connecting and fitting in. And often we use labels to help identify ourselves or identify ourselves with groups, such as what we primarily do for work, whether we're a social worker or a project manager, a mom, whatever we do primarily for work, we often use as our label. Sometimes we identify with where we live as one of our labels. In the spiritual realm, a lot of us try to find those things to hang hang our hat on, hang a coat on, to say, okay, I'm Pleiadian or I'm Atlantean or whatever that identifier might be. And so because you're here, I need to ask you, are you Lemurian? Do you feel Lemurian? Because I often get that question in private sessions or in workshops. People are wondering, am I Lemurian? And I always try to respond with some version of, how do you feel? Do you feel Lemurian? Because that's the most important aspect of that quest in the first place. How do you feel? And if you feel a connection with Lemuria, that's all you need to know. I feel this way. Nobody else has to know. Nobody else has to agree with you or understand what that means. And in fact, there are many different ways that people find connection with Lemuria. As I've shared in some recent Q&A sessions in my Lemurian healing course, some people identify with places on Earth or certain aspects of Lemurian stories or legend that just don't resonate with me. Doesn't mean that they're wrong or I'm wrong. It's just there are many different versions and aspects to Lemuria that we can connect with. And if you feel some kind of connection with what you've heard or read or felt or remembered on your own, that's all that really matters. And in the same way that there are many different ways of feeling a connection with Lemuria, you are not just one thing or even a handful of labels. You play so many roles just in your physical lifetime or your physical journey. Just imagine all the roles that you play as a daughter or a sister, a mother, a friend, a neighbor, a coworker, a mentor, a supervisor. I mean, there are myriad roles that you play in relation to other people. And there are so many different things that you do, whether it's for financial remuneration or not. There are many things that you do besides maybe one area of activity that seems to dominate your typical week. So you are many different things, not just one thing. And if you feel Lemurian, that's just a part of who you are. You are a multi-dimensional being. Beyond this human life with all of your roles, you are a multi-dimensional being. And how you feel is the most important part of any quest. Am I this? Am I that? As I mentioned in a recent video, what other people think of you really doesn't matter at all. Doesn't matter who it is, their opinion of you really doesn't matter. It's what you think of you that's most important. And when it comes to labels or identifying with a label or a group, we often use that as a way of as a shortcut to, we want someone to understand us. We want other people to understand us. And so, we'll say, well, I'm a healer, I'm a Lemurian, I'm a shaman, or whatever it is we identify with. We use those as shortcuts so that someone can understand us. But here's the thing. No one on this planet will ever, ever really understand you. No one. Because no one knows what it's like to be in your skin and have your experiences and your thoughts and your feelings and what it feels to do whatever you've done in your life. No one else on this planet can even come close to identifying and truly empathizing with all that you are and all that you've experienced. So in some ways, it really doesn't matter if anybody understands you, as long as you understand you. Well, I take that back. There is one being in this universe that gets you, and that's your higher self, because your higher self sees the totality of who you are, because your higher self is who you truly are, that larger, non-physical, eternal part of who you are. And so your higher self gets you even and understands you even more than you understand you, okay? So that is the one being on the planet who really, really gets you. Now, getting back to Lemuria, when it comes to watching videos like this or participating in our monthly Lemurian circle gathering or even participating in my courses and workshops, people are sometimes tentative. It's like, well, I don't know if I'm Lemurian or not. Can I join this event? Or I'm not even sure if I'm in the right place. Can I take this course? And again, it comes back to how you feel. You're not just one thing, ever. You are multidimensional, multifaceted. You are just such a rich, rich being that no one label or no one aspect of you is going to define who you are. So if you feel a connection with Lemuria, follow that, trust that, as far as it remains interesting or meaningful to you. There's no right or wrong in this. No one's going to judge you about whether you're Lemurian or not. Okay, it's time to reveal some truth here, okay? I've been teaching Lemurian healing for 15 years. My wife and I defined this healing modality, and we've been teaching it in a very special way these last 15 years. I've been working with and teaching with Lemurian wisdom for nearly 20 years. Do I feel Lemurian? Not particularly. That's my truth. I know I've had lifetimes there. I have memories both of physical lifetimes and I have memories of being non-physical in Lemurian times. It's very important to me. But do I feel Lemurian? Not really. And it doesn't matter. I love Lemurian wisdom. I love the Lemurian view of life, the universe, and everything. I love Lemurian wisdom, and I love sharing it and helping other people tap into their own Lemurian experiences and Lemurian wisdom. But it doesn't mean I am Lemurian. I have to feel 100% Lemurian. My truth is, I feel more elven than anything else. And for those of you that feel elven, you know that you've had a myriad of life experiences in all sorts of star systems, all sorts of dimensions, all sorts of physical and non-physical forms. And there's no one thing that identifies you. But my truth is I feel elven more than anything else. And a lot of people who find Lemuria or find Lemurian healing or start remembering Lemuria have an elven connection as well. And I've talked about this before. I'm just going to briefly touch upon it. It's because Lemuria was a co-creation between the angelic realm and the elven realms. These two wise and very deeply powerful realms of light came together, wove their specific energies and expertise and experience into an evolutionary experience on this planet that we now call Lemuria. So Elven were part of the original concept and design and implementation of Lemurian. So Lemurian has even deeper roots, and I identify more with those deeper roots, and you may as well. So just to wrap up today, when you're thinking about, am I Lemurian? Do I feel Lemurian? Remember, labels don't matter, right? it's how you feel. And what anybody else thinks of you really doesn't matter. In fact, no one else is really going to understand you in this lifetime except your own higher self. That's just the truth of the way things are. So that's why I keep promoting your relationship with your own higher self, because that's the most important relationship that you can really develop in this lifetime. That one being who really gets you. And ask your heart. You know what's true for you. You can just simply close your eyes, take a breath, and ask your heart, how do I feel? Am I Lemurian? Am I a healer? Whatever it is you want to, is it meaningful for me to go down this path or explore this course, whatever. Your heart knows what's true for you. Your heart knows what resonates with you. So tap into it. It's very simple. All you have to do is close your eyes, take a couple of deep breaths, and ask. So that's all I wanted to share with you today. Thank you so much for walking with me for these few minutes and tuning in. Until next time, I send you my love and light from Lemuria, and I would love to hear from you. So leave a comment below. Do you feel Lemurian? Do you feel anything else? Are there multiple aspects of yourself that really resonate with you? I'd love to hear from you in the comments below. So we'll see you next time. Aloha.